Hey, what's up guys, it's Inscript Sports coming back with another video today. So we're going to keep going. We're going to do the NBA Eastern Conference top 4 seeds. This video might seem like it's not going to be super long. It could get long depending on how I go about this, because there are a couple teams, in specific one team that I'm going to rant on in this video. I said earlier on the channel that I would do a rant about this team, and I'm going to do it right here, right now. So let's go. The number 4 seed are the Atlanta Hawks. They are right here. They're at number 4. So I predict they will go 54-28. So the Atlanta Hawks went 29-53 last year. I'm predicting almost a complete 360 from that. I'm predicting they will go 54-28. I get it. It's crazy. And people will think I'm crazy for it. Like, I get it. It is a total hot take. But I'm going to rant, and I'm going to tell you why I think this team should be up there. So, let me break down this team first. I love Trae Young. I really like him as a player. He's really, really good. I think, not going to say he's the next Steph Curry. Nobody's the next Steph Curry. That's not going to happen ever again. I really love this kid, though. I think he can shoot the lights out of the ball from anywhere. Like, he's ridiculous. Like, I think if he's going to improve on that, and I think he's just ridiculous when he gets it going. I love his ball handling skills. I think his passing is very underrated. I think if he works on being tough and finishing at the rim, I think he's a complete offensive package that is similar to Steph Curry. I really do. I also love this. This is the part that nobody understands. This young core is turning out to be insane. Like, when you look at it, I think I'm predicting it early. I'm predicting in the next 2 or 3 years, I'm predicting this team to be at the top of the Eastern Conference. I think this team will be just like the Golden State Warriors when they started. Trae Young at point guard. Kevin Huerter, I think he is just like Klay Thompson. He kind of looks like Klay Thompson as well. I think he is going to work out just like Klay Thompson. I think he's the same size, same frame, same kind of shot, pretty good defender. I think if he works on his defense, he's going to be just like Klay Thompson. So you see the resemblance already a little bit. Then you look at a guy like John Collins. He's bigger than Draymond Green, and yes, I'm comparing him to Draymond Green. Draymond Green is now listed at 6'5". He was listed at 6'7" last year. He's now listed as 6'5" by the NBA. John Collins is legit 6'10", close to 7 feet, but 6'10". But he's a power forward. He can shoot. He's getting better at his shot, and I think that's the next kind of step for him, is to improve his shot. Outstanding defender, really good at blocking shots. I think he is pretty much like Draymond Green. He's probably not as athletic, but if you see in his highlights, he can make some moves that you would be surprised a guy his size can make. I think he is similar to Draymond Green, but I think he's just a bigger version of Draymond Green. So now you really see the resemblance. Now, you take the guys that they drafted this year. Oh, speaking also of the guy they had last year, who I think is going to play better, DeAndre Bembry. Now, I don't really know a ton about him, honestly, but I just know that he's a forward, and he's playing better each and every year. So that's what I know about him. Now, next, they drafted DeAndre Hunter, number 4 overall in last year's draft. They traded up to get the number 4 pick. They traded 2 first-round picks away to get the number 4 pick. That's a lot to give up in this year's, because it was a pretty stacked draft, honestly. Like, people say it was kind of top heavy. It wasn't. It really wasn't. There was a lot of good players in this draft. So for them to trade up means they saw something in this kid, DeAndre Hunter from Virginia. I think he's a stud. I think he's going to be a stud as well. I really like what he offers when it comes to defense. I know he's not a great defender yet, but I really think when he gets, kind of a more mature body, he's like 6'7" right now, but I think if he can grow a little bit more and grow into his adult body, I think he'll be a great defender eventually. I really like him also as a shooter and just a wing player. I'm not comparing him to Kevin Durant, but yes, I'm kind of drawing a little kind of comparisons to him. I don't think he's going to be Kevin Durant, but I do think he'll be possibly a Paul George. That might be stretching it a little bit. Maybe not as good as Paul George even, but I do think this kid's talented, and you're going to have to watch out 2 or 3 years from now. I really do. I think he's going to be good. Also, they drafted Cam Reddish, who is a guy from Duke. I really like this kid. He's a shooter, and some people would say not a super, super good one. At Duke, he had his games where he wasn't great, but I think he's talented, and I think in the NBA he'll work for sure. He'll be a guy. I think he'll probably come off the bench and not start, but I think he'll be a good 6-man off the bench to come in and fill in. And I think it's important for depth purposes for him. So that's their young core. I also like their pickups of Alex Len, Damian Jones, some big man. Damian Jones from the Warriors, and they're trying to get Warriors players. They got Jabari Parker. He's kind of been off and on. I don't really know what to think. I think he's a good depth piece, though. I really do. He might even start. Who knows, depending on what they try to do. Evan Turner, I really like. He was on the Trailblazers last year. I really like him for depth. So they really do have some good depth. Even before I made this video researching, I didn't realize the entirety of their depth that they had. They have some pretty good depth on their team. So I really think, now you might think, oh, this team, it's good, but it's not going to be a top 4 seed. Just watch. Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, and John Collins will surprise you this year. Watch that. Just watch it. But that's what I'm predicting. That's my hot take. And, if you want to comment down, say what you think about this team. I just personally think they're really good. And if it's not this year for them, it's definitely in a couple years. Then, if they're not good in a couple years, then I was totally wrong. Because I just think they're so talented and they have such potential for them. They've rebuilt really well. Their coaching staff has done a really good job of rebuilding this team. That's my rant on this team. I just think they're really good. I think they'll surprise people this year, and I think they're going to come, and they're going to come hard. And especially in the East, that's, it's competitive, but I think there's room for a team like Atlanta to make it into the top 4. So I have them at 4. Now, let me get my water. Thirsty after all of that. Number 3, I have the Boston Celtics. I have them at 55-27 this year. I personally don't think Kemba is a whole lot worse than Kyrie is going to be with that team. Kyrie, as you saw, he didn't totally fit in as well as they would have wanted him to. I think Kemba is a little less needy, and I think, he's a pretty loyal dude. So I think he'll be pretty good on the team. I don't think he's much worse than Kyrie was, at least on that team. Maybe not in general, but on that team, I don't think he'll be as much worse. I think Jason Tatum is going to take another step up. He kind of went down a little, and I think he's just going to keep climbing. He's a really talented guy, so I think he'll fit in very well and take another step. I think the role players will fill in nicely. They lost Al Horford. That sucked for them. But I think just with Kemba and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, I think the talent is there for them to do good. And this is a controversial one too. I've even thought about flipping it with maybe Toronto and the 3 seed. I'm not really sure. But I think Boston. I just think they're the third best team in the East. And also their coach is great. Factor here. Have y'all seen Carson Edwards? The dude went off last night. I just want to say that. I don't know if this is for real or not. I'm still kind of blown away. The dude scored 28 points in 6 minutes. How is that possible? That just doesn't seem real. Klay Thompson scored, 37 and a quarter. So that's in 15 or 12 minutes. But, dang, 28 in 6 minutes is just insane. So I'm just now editing this. I just wanted to let y'all know, Carson Edwards scored 24 points in 6 minutes. He made 8 threes in 6 minutes. He had 30, I think, for the game. but he did not have 28 in 6 minutes. Just wanted to make that clear. But it's still insane, so you need to go watch the highlight tape if you haven't. He caught fire. So that just kind of proves to me, if he catches fire and he gets going in the NBA, and I think he has an NBA-ready body. Like, I think he's ready to be a guard. So he kind of fills in that Terry Rozier spot that they had last year, and I think he's even better than Terry Rozier. I haven't seen him play yet, so I can't really say it, but I think he has a potential very quickly to become better than Terry Rozier was. So if this dude heats up, watch out when you have Kemba, Carson Edwards, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum on the court, and Marcus Morris on the same court at the same time. Watch out. So now I'm going to go to the Milwaukee Bucks. I have them going 58-24. I have them the second seed. And, you know, the first seed is now. But the Milwaukee Bucks, I think they take a little bit of a step back because of Malcolm Brogdon. I think they'll not win as many games as last year just because of Malcolm Brogdon losing. I think missing him. I still like their roster additions. They got Wesley Matthews, Robin Lopez to pair up with his brother Brooke. Wesley Matthews I really like a lot. Not quite a Malcolm Brogdon replacement, but I still think he's good, and he'll be good for that team. You know, not a whole lot of roster moves other than that, but I think the number one team will kind of just beat them out. And that number one team is the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, there were a Kawhi lucky shot last year of going to the NBA Finals. They were. So, honestly, they were. I can't say that for sure because they would have to play Milwaukee. I think the 76ers had a really good shot to beat Milwaukee if Kawhi doesn't hit that shot. And who knows what happened? What have happened with the Warriors? But they could have won the whole thing last year. They could have. And this year, you add Al Horford, big pickup. Josh Richardson, not too far behind Jimmy Butler. They lost Jimmy Butler, but I think he's a little less needy also, less needy than Jimmy Butler was. I think Josh Richardson is really good. Not probably Jimmy Butler talent, but I think he'll be decent. You know, average 10 less than Jimmy Butler did, but I think Al Horford will pick up the slack. Joel Embiid will be, Joel Embiid when he's healthy is so freaking good. Like he's insane. So with that lineup, Joel Embiid, Al Horford, Josh Richardson, and then the X factor of this whole team, I have them number one seed and 60-22 as their record. Ben Simmons with a jump shot. I'm just going to be quiet for a second and let y'all think about that. Ben Simmons with the jump shot. So, he made a 3 in preseason. I don't really care about that a whole lot, but I do care that he's been working on it, and I do care that with him with the jump shot, it's going to be scary, scary, scary for the NBA because Ben Simmons is electric. He's a 6'10" point guard who can drive and finish over anybody, under anybody, just so skilled with the ball in his hands. If he develops this 3, it's going to be scary for the NBA, and that's why I have them at number 1, because I think he will at least have a 3-point shot this year, which will mean that you have to guard him now out on the perimeter. So that is the end of this video. If you agree with me or disagree, which this video will probably disagree with me quite a lot because these are some hot takes, especially with the Hawks and the Celtics. There's some pretty hot takes. I get it. But you know that's what making videos are for. That's what making predictions are for, is trying to be right. And I think my predictions are right. And I could be wrong though. It's always a possibility. But we'll just see. That's the fun of it. So like and subscribe if you like this video. I will be doing the Western Conference next. We are done with the East now. And just comment down below what you think and what other videos you want me to do. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.